Hello Kenyans, welcome one, welcome all. Welcome to In the Loop with me, Yasser Abdiaziz, the show where Kenyan politics finally gets what it has always deserved, a spotlight, a punchline, and a reality check. This week, we had roads in the north, rebellion in ODM, governors crying, and Nairobi handing over its homework to the national government. Let's get in the loop. President William Ruto took his tour to Northeastern Kenya this week. Isiolo, Wajir, Mandera, Garissa, front and center, the long-awaited Isiolo-Mandera road that the president announced in February 2025. Now, let's be serious for a moment. This road is not just a road. It's over 750 kilometers of economic stability, a trade corridor linking Kenya to Ethiopia and Somalia, a security boost, a transport revolution. For decades, Northeastern has been treated like the coming soon page of development, like a Netflix trailer that never premieres. But this week, a section of it is now complete. Bulldozers are on site, construction is visible, and the president is there, helmet on, inspecting progress like a site foreman. He also launched Nyota, a youth empowerment program targeting marginalized regions. Whether Nyota becomes a star or just another government acronym, time will tell. But here is the truth. For many in Northeastern, this is the most visible presidential attention since independence. And that matters. Development is not charity. It's not favor. It's constitutional obligation. Article 56 of the Constitution talks about affirmative action for marginalized communities. For years, it was treated like a suggestion. Now, it's at least been read. And then enter Rigathi Gachagua. Suddenly, he has discovered Northeastern. After 2 years as deputy president and political silence on the region, he now speaks passionately about corruption, mismanagement, and suffering. During drought season, how convenient. Selective outrage during a humanitarian crisis is not accountability, it's strategy. This is not about corruption, it's about alignment. Northeastern leaders have aligned with Ruto, and suddenly they are under moral investigation. We see political dust from 20 kilometers away. You think we can't see political BS? Emotional appeals during a humanitarian crisis won't win you the northern vote. Development speaks louder than drama. Why does this matter? Because roads change economies. Infrastructure reduces poverty. Connectivity creates opportunity. If this road is completed properly, it rewrites the economic map of Kenya. If it is not, it becomes another ribbon cutting meme. In Kenya, roads are built with asphalt and also with ambition. The question is, who is driving and who is just honking? From bulldozers in Northeastern to bulldozers inside ODM. Edwin Sifuna has been removed as ODM Secretary General. Shocked? You shouldn't be. The writing was not just on the wall, it was in capital letters. Sifuna has been loud, independent, opinionated, sometimes sounding less like a party spokesman and more like a political podcast host. In Kenyan political parties, independence inside a party is treated like lactose intolerance in a milk factory. And then came the optics. Rubbing shoulders with Gachagua, being seen near Matiang'i, whispers of Uhuru. In politics, perception is reality. ODM does not do political ambiguity very well. You either orbit the sun or you drift into space. Sifuna was drifting. This is bigger than Sifuna. This is about generational transition. ODM still operates like it is 2007, but 2026 Kenya is Gen Z, digital, impatient, politically meme literate. Sifuna represents a new wave, articulate, media savvy, unfiltered. But ODM is still structured like a liberation movement, and liberation movements struggle with succession. We saw it in South Africa's ANC, we saw it in Zimbabwe's ZANU-PF. History tells us the old guard rarely hands over gracefully. Here is my unsolicited advice to Sifuna. Form something new. Gather Babu Owino, Ndidi Nyoro, and other energetic leaders under 45. Build a Gen Z movement. Leave the old formations to argue about who stood where in 1992. And then James Orengo. Conspiratorial rhetoric around Raila Odinga's death. Dangerous territory. Words from senior leaders carry weight. Kenya cannot afford fear-mongering disguised as courage. This matters because party instability shapes coalitions. Coalitions shape elections. Elections shape your cost of living. If ODM is the orange, this week it felt less like juice and more like squeezed pulp. From squeezed oranges to squeezed governors. Several governors are crying foul after being summoned by the Senate's County Public Accounts Committee, CPAC. They claim extortion, harassment, political witch hunt, but let's be clear, counties receive billions every year. Mandera, Wajir, Garissa, Nairobi, billions. Oversight is not persecution, it's constitutional duty. Yet instead of answering audit questions, some are attacking the questioners. Classic fallacy, argumentum ad hominem. When you can't answer the question, attack the person. The senator is corrupt too, this is political. That does not explain where the money went. If 2 billion was budgeted for water, where are the boreholes? If 500 million was allocated for health equipment, where are the working machines? The ordinary Kenyan does not care about Senate drama. They care about services. If you are innocent, bring receipts, not press conferences. And now, let's talk about the capital city, Nairobi, the green city in the sun, currently experiencing a political sunstroke. Nairobi Governor Johnson Sakaja has handed over some county functions to the national government. Yes, handed over, like a student submitting group work he didn't contribute to. So, what's happening? Certain services, including some infrastructure and administrative functions, are being transferred or coordinated with the national government agencies. This is not entirely new. Remember the Nairobi Metropolitan Services, NMS, and the General Body? When Mike Sonko's administration collapsed, the national government stepped in. Now we are seeing shades of that again. The question is, has Sakaja lost control? Or is this strategic cooperation? Critics say this looks like surrender. Supporters say it's pragmatism. But here is the real issue. Nairobi is not just a county, it's the capital city. It generates a massive portion of Kenya's GDP. It hosts diplomats, multinationals, and over 4 million residents. Yet, it struggles with garbage, flooding, traffic, and planning chaos. So, the big question, imagine, should Nairobi even be a county? Or should it be a full metropolitan service with a mayor, appointed or elected, and a strong national oversight? Right now, we have a governor who often looks like a CEO without full control of the board. What does this mean for Nairobians? It means confusion about who is responsible. If roads fail, is it the county? If garbage piles up, is it national? If floods hit, who do you blame? Accountability becomes blood. And when accountability is blood, service delivery suffers. This is not just a political issue. It affects rent, business, traffic, quality of life. Nairobi cannot be governed like a rural county. It needs structural clarity. If you don't control your city, someone else will. So, there you have it, folks. This week in Kenya, the president is building roads in the north, ODM is rearranging its furniture, governors are fighting audits, and Nairobi is negotiating its own identity. This is not chaos. This is a country in transition. Old power structures are shaking, new political realities are forming. But remember, development must be real, opposition must be responsible, accountability must be consistent, and capital cities must act like capital cities. Otherwise, we are just rearranging seats in a political matatu, heading in the same direction. My name is Yasser Abdiaziz. If you believe Kenyan politics deserves wit with wisdom, humor with homework, and satire with substance, subscribe, share this video, drop your thoughts in the comments, because in a country where headlines change every hour, staying informed is power. And staying in the loop, well, that's just survival. Good night, Kenya. Stay sharp, stay skeptical, and never let politicians gaslight your common sense.